Here's an SAT prep problem that it shows up on, I think, every SAT in one form or the other. It's not this problem, of course, but there are problems like this. And here's how the problem reads, and let's talk about our strategy as far as this being a free response portion of the exam. The length of a rectangular mural is 3 times its width, and its perimeter is 840 inches. What is the length of the mural in inches? So I think that's a good question. Not a really difficult question. Let's start, I guess, with a rectangle. So here's our rectangle. What do it look like? Let's let our picture look like this. You know what? Watch this. I can make this really pretty. I can make this rectangular like this. So let's do this really quickly. So here's our rectangle. Okay, that's a horrible looking rectangle, but let's pretend that that's a rectangle. So what do we know here? We know that its length is 3 times its width, right? So let's just assign its width, if you don't mind. Let's call its width. You know, if you want to, you don't have to call it x. It's the algebra teacher in me. Let's call its width. So we have its width here. But its length is 3 times its width, so 3 times w is its length, and 3 times w is its length here. And it has a perimeter of 840 inches, and we know that perimeter is the addition of all the sides, isn't it? So we know that 3w plus 3w plus w plus w is equal to 840, isn't that right? So now what we can do is this. We can add these together. They're all w's, so we get 3, 6, 7, 8. We get 8 w's is equal to 840. Move down a little bit. And then this is just algebra now, isn't it? So we're just going to do some division here. Divided by 8, divided by 8. This is we know this is divisible by 8 because the last two numbers are divisible by 8, so we know our rules of division here. And it turns out that w equals 105. Now, let's be careful because go back and make sure we're answering the question. What is the length of the mural? What is the length of the mural in inches? Well, the length is not 105. The length is 3 times, right? Because it says 3 here, so it's 3 times w. So 3 times 105 is this length. So it's 315. And it says, what is the length of the mural in inches? So it's 315 inches. All right, I think that's not a terrible question. I think what it comes down to is just setting it up. So if I told you for sure, hey, you're going to see a question like this on the SAT, would you study it? And if the answer is yes, then I'm telling you, you're going to see a question like that on the SAT. All right, good work.